everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Marissa.
My name's Patrick.
And you can probably hear Gus. And today we are going to go over our most recent Walt Disney World trip, which was now over a month ago. Life's been a little bit crazy. So we are just going to go over our stay at Saratoga Springs, our dinner at Flying Fish, and then our experience at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween. Since it was our first time going to an after hours party, and we will be going to Very Merry, so we'll go over things we liked, things we didn't like, things we'll do differently, all the things. So if that is something you want to see, we would love if you could give this video a big thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button. And for now, let's get into the video. Okay, so first things first, we'll talk about Saratoga Springs.
Yeah.
We really loved it.
I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably not at the top of my list of places that we've stayed, but I thought it was really good. I mean, the closeness to Disney Springs, I think, is obviously the best part of it. The rooms are nice. Not a ton of bells and whistles. It's kind of spread out, but really you get a lot of. And there's like a couple pools. The restaurant is also apparently pretty good. What's it called? Artist Palette?
Artist Palette. Mm-hmm.
We've never eaten there, but apparently it's really good.
We had breakfast there.
Okay, but we didn't have like...
we had Mickey waffles.
Yeah.
So we picked Saratoga Springs because we booked this trip relatively last minute, or at least more last minute than we normally book our trips. And so it was one of the few DVC resorts that still had availability. I think we booked it 2 or 3 months out.
Probably,
yeah.
And
so,
and if you don't know, if you normally have home resort priority booking for DVC at 11 months, and then home resort priority at 7 months. So usually we're booking at 11 or 7 months out. But I think Saratoga was the only one that had any availability.
I think it was Old Key West too.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It's usually
it was
those
slim
two.
pickings because it was over the weekend, and at the time, had they announced Not So Scary?
Yeah.
Okay, so then, that was probably also why, is because it was a party weekend.
But the nice thing is we were able to get a preferred view room category. So when we checked in, they asked us, they gave us a couple options for buildings, and one of those was the building complex we stayed in that was really, really close to Disney Springs, which is what we wanted.
Yeah.
We also had a bus stop basically right outside our room, which was super nice. I think we
weren't too far from the main building either.
No.
It was a quick walk. So it was, the location was great. But I guess if you wanted to stay like in the main complex, I think that was an option for us, or I don't remember, to be honest.
I don't remember the other two.
I think the big draw is staying next to Disney Springs. We were like the second closest building. We probably could have been one closer, but I mean, it really doesn't make a big difference.
And that's really what we wanted. We wanted to be close to Disney Springs, so we prioritized that. I didn't know that they had so many bus stops. There's like 5 or 6 bus stops within the property, so wherever you stay, you're probably going to have a bus stop right by your room, which is incredibly handy, especially because we flew this time. We normally drive, so we didn't have our car, so we very heavily relied on the bus system.
Speaking of the bus, the cool thing about staying next to Disney Springs is that you can walk to Disney Springs and get on the bus at the Disney Springs bus stop and go anywhere, which is what we did when we went to the boardwalk for Flying Fish.
Which leads us to Flying Fish.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that's tricky when you have a car, for those of you who don't know, if you're trying to go to a resort, to like resort hop or go to a quick service, if you are not staying at that resort, or if you don't have like an actual dining reservation, you can't park at that resort. So we've run into that a couple times, so it gets a little bit tricky. And if you are at your resort, you can only take a bus to a park. You can't take it to another resort. So that's why it was so nice that we were right by Disney Springs, because then we could go to the bus area at Disney Springs and get our pick of resorts.
The only thing we would have been able to do otherwise was take an Uber. I mean, we would have there's no way to get over to like from where we were to where we needed to go otherwise.
Mm-hmm. So we originally weren't going to do any kind of sit down dinner on this trip. We don't usually do a sit-down dinner in general.
We haven't, yeah. We did a
haven't
bunch
since
at
our
the
first
very
trip.
first trip. We did a bunch, and we were like, this is way too much. So we sort of backed off that. A lot of quick service and such. But it was really good.
But it was, we took a nap in the room, and Patrick actually wanted to do something. So it was our anniversary weekend. It wasn't actually our anniversary, but we were there for it. And Flying Fish had availability, which surprised us both. We were really surprised that there was actually a lot of options too. So we did that. It was delicious. Patrick's not a huge seafood person.
I like seafood. I'm not a big fan of like shrimp and crab. I like fish, not what would you call that? Shellfish.
Yeah. So it's not normally the kind of restaurant outside of Disney that we would go to.
We wanted to go.
Yes. One of our favorite vloggers, Brianna and Corey Woodbine, have been there and hyped it up quite a bit. So,
and they have other things that are not just seafood too. So if you're not big into seafood at all, I mean, I thought about getting a steak, but then I didn't end up getting it. But it looks pretty good. It's not a huge menu, but I guess if you're a really picky eater, you don't like seafood, it might be tough. But
and I thought in terms of a fancier restaurant at Disney, it was pretty reasonable. I mean, it was expensive, but it wasn't.
But it's no more expensive to go in. I didn't think to go to a restaurant at home. I don't think it was any more than that.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it had like a Disney price tacked onto it.
It was nice. It was I think it was nice that the decor in there is nice. It wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be on the inside.
It was actually smaller.
I think kind of surprised me. It wasn't a plus or minus at all in any direction. But it was really good. It's not as like we've been to Topolino's, and I thought Topolino's was a little bit nice. Like it's like nice. Like Topolino's is super nice. So it's like a little bit of a step down. It's still a nice place though. I wouldn't say it's casual by any means. But
you could definitely go in there without dressing up.
Yeah.
It did not take over the top spot that Topolino's has for us, but I think we would definitely go again.
I would definitely go again.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I'd have to give it some more thought to see where I'd rank it amongst other Disney restaurants. But it was.
I think we'll have to.
We were excited to go, and I think it lived up to the expectation.
I think we'll have to do a food rating video at some point.
Of what?
Of our rankings for our restaurants.
Like all restaurants. Mm-hmm. Okay. We'll see. A little tier. Everybody loves a good tier list.
Yes, everyone does.
We haven't been to a lot of restaurants, though. It might be tough. We've been to a decent. I guess we've been to a decent amount, but
we've been to
some of these people on the vlog game have been to like everything, and we can't compete.
We still have enough for a tier list. We've got enough.
Our tier list at the bottom is like 50 ones that we haven't been to. Well, I haven't been to tier list.
Stay tuned for that tier list. We forgot to bring up the fact that we went to Animal Kingdom, so we'll touch on a couple things there since we didn't spend crazy amount of time there. First is our favorite pro tip that we give to everyone. If you are rope dropping Animal Kingdom, everyone is going to go to Pandora for Flight of Passage. Go to Kilimanjaro Safaris. It's worth it. The animals are usually like waking up or have just woken up, so a good chunk of them are pretty active.
It's probably more applicable if you go in the cooler months because it's really morning time. Like if you're in the summer and 9 o'clock, the sun's been up since 6 or 6:30, so it's not as big of a boost in the animal seeing. And the other thing is that Kilimanjaro doesn't open until 30 minutes after the early entry starts. Mm-hmm. So you
do have to wait in line.
Start. The line starts, and it's probably still worth it for you to go there and wait in the line at early entry than it is to come to go right at 9, because then the line's going to be super long.
Yeah.
So.
Every time that we've rope dropped Kilimanjaro, once the ride opens, I think we've waited in line for like 10 minutes.
It's fast, yeah.
Yeah, because they're just cranking out the buses.
Yeah. And this time we didn't show up right at 8:30. Remember, we
were
got
a little
in,
late,
and so then we had to wait for a little while, and I think we decided overall it was probably more time than it was just to go straight there, but not a huge, we're talking about 10 or 15 minute difference.
But it's definitely worth it. Like, we love Flight of Passage. Highly recommend that as well. But nothing beats getting to see the animals in the morning. We got to see more of the lions than we got to previously.
Yeah.
Elephants were out. The rhino was out.
Everything was out, yeah.
Yeah. So that is a big recommendation of ours. We also want to touch on Satuli Canteen, because that is a new place that we had not tried.
Yeah.
We loved it.
It was really good.
It was so good.
Really good.
It definitely surpassed our expectations. Like, I think really we haven't had a bad meal at Disney, let's be honest, but I think we were really surprised with how good it was.
It wasn't even on my radar. I don't think I've ever heard anybody else talk about it and all the other content that we watched. Well, it's like one of the only quick serve places in Animal Kingdom, is it not? I mean, like, I know there's a couple, but I think it's the only one that's not, selling chicken tenders and pizza.
I don't think it's the only one, but it's one of them. Yeah.
I don't know.
But it was really,
good.
really good. One thing to note, definitely mobile order. Yeah. And they won't let you go get a table until your mobile order is ready.
Which is good.
Yes.
Because then you don't have to, there were tables when we got in there to sit at 12 o'clock, right at the middle of lunchtime. So I think they do that's a good sort of, you don't have to mobile order. You can go in and order there, but it's definitely preferable, I think, to mobile order. And it took, I don't know, we did it while we were waiting in line for something. While we were in line for Flight of Passage.
It was when we were done with Flight of
Passage. Yeah. So
once I got my night.
It was like 20 minutes.
Once I got my night blossom.
Yeah, 20 minutes, and then it was ready. Yeah. So even in the middle of lunchtime on a Saturday, so that was definitely a plus.
And it was delicious. So definitely recommend going. I think you really can't get a bad meal there.
They have a lot of interesting stuff, and there's a lot of it's very like mix and match, so you can everybody should be able to get something that they want.
Yeah. Yep. So that was our brief little Animal Kingdom discussion. Before we get into the not so scary discussion, we also wanted to touch on the Starlight Parade, which is the brand new nighttime parade at Magic Kingdom, because this was our first time seeing it. Yeah. Our biggest tip is to make time to see it. We've watched a couple YouTube videos about it from some of our other favorite vloggers, and it looks beautiful on camera, but it does not do it justice.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I think the whole time we were watching it, like, our jaws were just on the floor. Really cool. There's so many Easter eggs in all of the floats. The floats are stunning. You get to see some characters you don't normally get to see, like Pinocchio, the blue fairy from Pinocchio. We really don't see a lot of Coco representation, but we got to see Miguel. The Moana float was really cool because it had her grandma's like stingray, the manta ray come up, which was really neat. So definitely worth seeing it, making time for it. We watched it pretty close to Frontierland, and that's where the parade ends. It starts on Main Street and it ends in Frontierland. And I think we would recommend going there because...
I don't think that it matters necessarily where you watch it, but if you're doing what we did where you go immediately after the fireworks, you want to just go to whatever the place is that's closest to where you're sitting. So like we were at the fireworks, like if you're looking at the castle, we were like on the left side, like on the Frontierland side. So we just immediately left the fireworks and went over to get a spot, which ended up being about 30 minutes to wait. Yeah. Which we got right in the front, which was cool. But I will say that you don't really need to be in the front because the floats are super tall. Yeah. And so there's probably not enough time for you to do anything, in between. But you don't necessarily have to, feel like you really got to get over there, fast.
It just depends. Like if you don't
want wherever you can.
Yeah. If you don't want anyone in front of you, then you do want to just go right to a spot. And we just found our spot and just sat down. Yeah. We were right next to a popcorn stand, so we got our Starlight Parade popcorn bucket and some soda while we waited for the parade. But it really just depends. If you just want to see it and you don't care to be in the front, just go where you can find a
Yeah.
spot. But if, like us, we really wanted to be in the front since we were recording it. So we just went immediately to a spot. But definitely recommend going to Frontierland because there were a lot less people.
I'm sure it was less busy where we were than it would have been
Yeah.
up in the front.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's great to see it on Main Street, but it was way less crowded where we were, which was really, really nice. And now, Not So Scary, or really just the whole day of Not So Scary. So again, for context, this was our first after hours party. We had never been to one. We did a little bit of research, but even still, like, you don't really know until you go to one.
Yeah.
So the thing to note with any party day, whether it's Halloween or the holidays, Magic Kingdom is way less crowded during the day.
Yeah, well, at least for us that day that we were there. So it was a Sunday, and we had been to Magic Kingdom the day before, and it was noticeably less busy in the morning.
Yep.
And basically pre-party hours, and we didn't wait longer than maybe 15 or 20 minutes for arriving. We got on Tiana's after a 15-minute wait.
It was like posted 30-minute wait.
Yeah.
We did not wait 30 minutes.
We ended up we had already purchased a individual Lightning Lane 7 Doors Mine Train, but we probably didn't need it. And we got to do a lot of rides actually in the morning with really short wait times, and the park was definitely noticeably less busy.
Yeah.
So we think that when we go in December for Very Merry, we'll structure it a little bit differently.
Yeah, and the reason we are probably going to structure it differently is just because we don't need to cram a bunch of rides in the morning. However, we will say if you are wanting to go to Magic Kingdom and it happens to be a party day and you don't have party tickets, it still might be worth going to Magic Kingdom in the morning or during the day because typically the crowds are going to be smaller, so you might be able to get on quite a few rides even without a Lightning Lane. So definitely an option. For December, basically what we're going to do is we're going to scratch our Magic Kingdom morning, besides potentially a breakfast reservation, but TBD on that. And we're going to get to the park at probably 2 or 3, so we can just knock out a bunch of rides before the actual Very Merry party starts.
It starts at 6.
Starts at 7.
7, okay.
Starts at 7. So the park closes at 6 for everyone that doesn't have a party ticket.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yep,
6.
and then the actual party starts at 7 because it takes pretty much that whole hour to...
If you have a ticket, you can get in at 4.
Yes.
Unless you have like an annual pass or a day ticket already, then you can get in sooner than that. And something that we've seen on some vlogs that we've watched is the crowds to get in right at 4 o'clock. It's a little zany because we showed up at 5 and it wasn't too bad.
Yep. So we would say either go early because you don't have to leave the park to come back for the party. You can check in within the park.
Yeah.
So either go earlier than 4 or after 4, or be there at like 3:30 in the line.
And you gotta wait a little bit to get in.
Yeah, because from what we've seen, it is crazy right at 4 o'clock.
But by 5, we didn't even know. Like, so that was because we saw it after the fact that how crazy it was getting in at 4. I was like, wow, that was not our experience at all. So an hour later, it was basically normal. We walked right in at that point.
And I think one of the things that we didn't really think about beforehand, not that it impacted our party, is the character wait lines. So I knew that Jack and Sally is always a crazy long wait. We didn't have any interest in meeting Jack and Sally, so I didn't even consider the fact that other lines would be really long. The one character meet and greet we prioritized was Winnie the Pooh and Friends, and we waited 2.5 hours. Now, granted, they took a lot of breaks once they came out because they didn't come out until 7. Some of the character meet and greets start earlier, so Jack and Sally starts earlier. I think they might have been the only ones. But it was really, really hot out, so I think that's why they took so many breaks.
You're right,
So it might not be like that for Christmas, but definitely if you have a specific character or set of characters you want to meet, make sure you factor that time in.
And the cast member did say that the Winnie the Pooh is like, after Jack and Sally, is the most popular character to meet. I mean, because there was other stuff around that you could just walk right up to that we saw, but it was definitely that one was busy, and we didn't necessarily have to do what we did, but I'm glad that we did do what we did. No, I meant like I'm not saying that we didn't go to Winnie the Pooh, but we were debating whether we should get in line at 5 o'clock, and we did, and it was good that we did.
Yeah.
Because I think otherwise we'd have been there for even longer.
Yeah, no, I think so. And Jack and Sally are also at the Very Merry Christmas Party. So if you're going to that and you want to prioritize them, their line opens at 4, I believe. So make sure you just prioritize any characters you want to meet, so that way you're not waiting in line when other party stuff is going on.
Yeah, well, nothing happens until 7 anyway. So
yeah, so it didn't really impact us because we would have just been wandering around anyway, and it was kind of nice just to be able to. We kind of
we just missed out on maybe doing some more rides, but it ultimately didn't matter because we still got to do everything else that we wanted to do.
So another thing that we did was eat a lot of food. So we prioritized all of the party specific snacks and treats instead of just what is usually there for the season. I think the best thing that I had was the blue raspberry shake from Pinocchio. It was a blue raspberry slushie, and then it had marshmallow whipped cream. Really, really good.
Yeah, they had a lot of good party-specific food, I think. I mean, there's a lot of different options. I was surprised that we've never been to a party, but I was surprised that like every single restaurant had a different menu than normal, so they all had different food, and there was a lot of variety as well, both sweet and savory. So the one thing that we also did a little bit was the Halloween candy, the trick-or-treating, which is fun.
It was cute.
It's probably more fun for kids than it is for adults, but it was still cool.
Was
cool. You get a nice variety of candy though, if you like candy.
We still have some, I think.
We still have some. Yeah, we haven't eaten it all.
The cool thing was some of the locations had the villains in there. Yeah, that was really cool.
And I don't think they advertised that. I mean, maybe we just missed it, but I didn't know that going in that was going to be the case. I
knew it, but I didn't know like what it was.
Yeah, because I remember we walked in through like the PhilharMagic, and there was the Evil Queen was in there, wherever they were handing out candy. I mean, that was cool. So
yeah. It was a really neat touch. We didn't really do much trick-or-treating because we didn't want to have to bring a bunch of candy.
And we were stuffed from all the other food that we ate.
And
we ate so much other food.
Yeah, we just didn't need to bring a ton of candy home. So I think we only did 2 trick-or-treat stops.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I think we only did 2. And that was fine for us. It's definitely more for the kids. Like if I was a kid doing it, I would be running to every single location. Definitely use your app to mobile order when possible, because the lines to order food were definitely long, especially at Pinocchio. Pinocchio had a really long line to order versus just picking up a mobile order. So definitely mobile order when possible, because it is a huge help.
The Booty U Parade, the Spooktacular fireworks show, so the normal like replacement for Happily Ever After, and then we kind of saw the Villains spectacular thing at the stage show they had at the very end, but we were pretty tired by then, and I wasn't super paying attention.
We originally were like, we're gonna stay until the end of the party, like we're gonna close this down.
We did.
Kind of. we really overestimated how much we could hang, because
well, it was our last day of our trip too. So that was
and we had a really early flight the next morning and all of that. So we didn't really watch much of the Hocus Pocus show. From what we heard, it was fun, but we didn't really watch it.
We kind of watched it from a distance, and then we kind of just left.
Then we left. But we did get to see the Spooktacular fireworks show, and I think that blew away a lot of our expectations.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this in the video the actual recording video that we did right in our room afterwards, but compared to like the regular fireworks show, it has so many more fireworks. Like it's just constant fireworks. The screen display is not as impressive as it is on Happily Ever After, but they make up with it with the sheer volume of fireworks, I think. I mean,
So
it was really a cool show.
I would say for the fireworks show, you don't have to be close to the castle. We didn't get to see Jack super up close, but you got a really good picture on my phone of like zoomed in of Jack.
Yeah.
So
because he's pretty tall.
Yeah, he is really tall. So really, like, that's the only thing you kind of miss out on if you're not super close, because the rest of it's mostly fireworks. So like we prioritized finding a spot for the Booty parade. So we were pretty far back on Main Street. We were right by one of the Emporium entrances.
Which you could have done what we did, but been up in the front. But you probably would have had to be there pretty early because people were camping out for that. I mean, way
earlier than we camped out.
There's 2 parades, right?
Yeah,
2 parades. So you kind of can pick and choose. But even for the second parade, it was pretty busy.
Yeah, it was really busy. Even though we had to sit for I think like 45 minutes to an hour, worth it. Because it was a really, really good spot that we had, and it was really nice to be just right there and not having to like peer over someone's head or.
Contrary to what we said about the Starlight Parade, this was definitely worth being up at the front because I mean you get to be like this close to the folks who are participating in the parade, and they do some interaction with you, which is kind of cool.
Like Aladdin came up to him, and
we had a couple interactions with
Queen of Hearts.
The Queen of Hearts soldiers were hilarious.
Yeah, they came up to us too. Yeah. Dopey blew me a kiss. Like
it seems like if you see that you're holding the camera, they do something.
We noticed that the whole trip. Like we had Stitch come up to us. We had Tigger wave at us. Like.
Yeah.
If you want more character interruptions, get a vlogging camera.
Just carry a camera around. Don't even turn it on. Just leave it. Just turn it. Just have the camera around, and they seem to do.
Because also one of the sisters from Cinderella like came up to you too. Drizelia. Yeah. She came up to you, so it was really, really fun. Yeah. Max coming out as Powerline at the beginning, like
super cool.
Was much fun for us.
That part of the show you only see if you're on the Main Street portion.
Yes, so if you want to see Max's Powerline, you have to be on Main Street because they don't do it.
Which we didn't know that, and we would have been a little bit upset about it if we had missed out on that part because it was definitely cool.
And obviously,
that part is interactive too. They bring the kids out from the crowd and let you dance, which I thought was super neat.
So much fun.
Have little ones.
Yep, so much fun. And obviously, seeing the Headless Horseman was really, really cool, and like the music leading up to him coming out was really fun. It was really spooky. Like the lights were all like kind of dim, and it was just like I think I had goosebumps when he came out. It was so cool, and everyone was like cheering on the horse, which was awesome because the horse deserved it. But overall, the Booty Parade was super, super fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. There were some really cool floats too. I think my favorite one was the Vanellope.
That's my favorite too.
Oh well, it was cool because it like had the smell with it too, which was
like really... She passed and we like looked at each other and said, "Do you smell that candy?" Yeah. I don't know if any of the other floats were scented, but Vanellope's was definitely scented. Yeah, that was really, really fun. Yeah. So overall, what are your thoughts on Not So Scary? Would you do it again?
Yeah, I would do it again for sure. I would do it again. I don't think there's anything else that we haven't already covered that I would want to throw in.
We will definitely dress up more next time.
Yeah, the dress up would have been...
We saw some really cool costumes. We saw a lady dressed as Kevin from Up, and she had this big tutu and these ears that were Kevin inspired, and that was really, really cool.
A lot of fun group themed costumes too. So that was neat. But
so I think that's one thing we will definitely do differently. Yeah. I think we'll really lean into the holiday theme when we do Very Merry, a little bit more than we probably would have had we not gone to Not So Scary. But anyway, I hope that this video gave you some insights and maybe some tips for Not So Scary. Actually, before we close this out, I did want to talk about the Not So Scary merch. If there is, so for the Not So Scary merch, one of the things that I really wanted was the 5-pin box set that they had, because it comes with Mickey and Minnie, and that's not sold separately. I did not realize that they have allocations for all of the merch for every party night, and once they sell out, they sell out.
Which is good, because then if you go in later in the calendar year, then you're not like just...
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing, but if there is something for whatever party you're going to, whether it's Halloween or Christmas, get it early. Otherwise, you do run into the risk of it selling out by the end of the evening. I was able to get the other... Everything else that I wanted, but that was the one thing that I had really wanted that I did miss out on. So make sure to keep that in mind if there is...
Because when did we go to the shop? Was it after the parade?
No, it was... I think it was before the fireworks, but it was still late. Like, it was later.
Because we were in the window. It was not right at the beginning of the party.
No, it was towards the end. Yeah. So we'll be doing Very Merry a little bit differently. I'll probably knock out the merch early just so I can get what I want and everything. But if there is something that you really have your eye on, I would say go there first, or have that be one of the first things that you do.
You certainly could go first right out of the gate and be fine if you didn't.
Yeah.
Because you're right by the entrance.
Yep. So also a tip there. But anyway, we hope that you got some insights, maybe learned some things that you didn't know to help you for whether you're going to Not So Scary or Very Merry. And with that, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.